Here's the truth nobody tells you when you start deer hunting. It's not your bow, it's not your rifle, it's not the expensive gear hanging in your closet. The reason most beginners go a whole season without laying eyes on a mature buck comes down to a short list of mistakes, and almost every new hunter makes every one of them. I know because I made every single one myself and it cost me years. So today I'm handing you the 12 beginner deer hunting mistakes that quietly wreck your season in no particular order, so you can skip the frustration I went through the hard way. Most of these cost you nothing to fix, and one of these 12 costs you more dear than all the others combined. Stick with me to the end and I'll tell you exactly which one it is. Number 1. Sitting the wrong stand at the wrong time of day. A brand new hunter picks their favorite spot, usually looking over a food plot or an open field, and they sit at every chance they get, morning and evening all day long. But a food source is an evening stand. Deer aren't standing out in the open at daybreak. By legal light, they're already drifting back into the thick cover to bed. So you climb in at dawn, you stare at an empty field for 4 hours, and you tell yourself you're being patient. You're not being patient, you're burning a hunt and adding pressure for nothing. Morning belongs to bedding areas and the travel routes right beside them. Evening belongs to food. Match the stand to the clock and you'll see more deer tomorrow without spending a dollar. The best morning stand I own sits between 2 bedding areas, and I've killed bucks out of it at 8:30 in the morning while the food plot crowd was already home eating breakfast. Number 2, trusting a spray bottle to beat a deer's nose. Every beginner falls for this one. You buy the scent elimination spray, you douse your whole body, and you sit downwind of nothing, dead certain the deer can't smell you. A whitetail's nose is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom. No spray on earth erases you when the wind is carrying your scent straight into a buck's face. Here's what actually works. Hunt the wind every single sit. Set up so your scent blows into dead ground where you never expect a deer to be. Keep your boots and clothes clean on the walk-in, because that trail of scent you leave getting to the stand is what really burns you. Control what you can. Stop trusting a bottle to hide what you can't. Number 3, going after your deer too soon. This one breaks my heart because it's the mistake that actually loses the animal. You take the shot, the deer bounds off, and every nerve in your body is screaming at you to climb down and chase it right now. Don't. If that hit was anything less than perfect, a gut shot or liver hit deer will lie down and die within a couple hundred yards unless you bump him first. And if you bump him, he's gone a quarter mile, a half mile, and you will never catch up to him, so back out. Slip down out of the tree a half hour after the shot, walk the opposite direction and give it time. Unless you watched him fall or heard the crash, treat it like a bad hit and wait it out even overnight. And if you do jump him, don't tell yourself he only went 100 yards to the next bed. Expand your search out to 400 or 500 yards, because a spooked, wounded deer covers ground fast. Patience recovers more deer than any fancy blood-tracking trick ever will. Number 4. Overhunting your one good stand. You finally found a spot that produces, so of course you hunt it. Then you hunt it again the next day, and again the day after that. Here's the problem. Deer learn pressure far faster than you'd believe. Sit that same stand 3 times in a week and you've taught every deer in the area exactly where the danger lives. They start slipping past after dark, or they root around it completely and you never even know it's happening. The fix is simple. Have more than one stand and rotate them so no single spot ever feels hunted. Your favorite stand shouldn't be the last place you shot a buck. It should be the next place you're going to. Number 5, dropping a ground blind out in the open. Ground blinds are fantastic tools, but new hunters set them exactly like they saw on TV, right in the middle of a green field, and then expect the deer to ignore a big black box that appeared out of nowhere overnight. In pressured country, they will not. A mature buck will pick that outline out from 100 yards and never walk near it again. So brush it in. Tuck it against a tree line, behind tall grass, into a cluster of trees, anything that kills the square shape. Give it the 100-yard test. If you can spot that blind from 100 yards away, so can every deer on the property, and it needs a lot more cover before you hunt it. Think about the trail camera footage you've seen. A big buck walks up, stares dead at that little camera one time, and you never get a daylight photo of him again. Now picture a box 100 times that size sitting in his field. That's what an open blind looks like to a mature deer. Number 6, checking your trail cameras every couple of days. I get it. The photos are addicting, and that little rush of a new buck on the card is real. But every single trip in to pull a card leaves scent, cuts a fresh trail, and educates deer. The fix is to only check a camera when you're already hunting that exact spot. Hang most of your cameras right next to your stands, up high on a wide tree where the profile disappears into the trunk, and pull the card on your way into hunt. Now you're adding 0 extra pressure, and you kill the temptation to sneak in early and blow out your best spot just to feed your own curiosity. And if your budget stretches to it, a single cell camera on your best spot lets you watch it from your phone and stay out of there entirely. The less you walk in, the more that stand is worth on the day you finally hunt it. Number 7, loud, careless access. This is the mistake that ruins the hunt before you ever sit down. The slammed truck door, the ATV ridden right up to the base of the stand. Crunching through dry leaves in the pitch dark, banging your climbing sticks on every branch on the way up. Deer hear all of it from hundreds of yards off, and they file every bit of it under danger. I've watched deer clear out of a whole ridge the second a four-wheeler fired up across the valley, park farther out than feels reasonable, walking slow and soft, take the quiet route even when the loud one is shorter. The deer you never spook are the only deer you actually get to hunt. Number 8. Skipping morning hunts, especially during the rut. Beginners love the evening sit. It's comfortable, you sleep in and you're home for dinner. But mature bucks move more in the morning during the rut, a lot more, 3 times more by what my cameras show. Those first hours of daylight when bucks are up on their feet cruising for does are the best window you will get all year. I'd trade one great rut morning for 5 average evenings and never think twice. If you're only hunting evenings, you are quite literally sleeping through your best odds at the biggest deer of the whole season. Number 9. Sloppy noise in and around the stand. You can beat a deer's eyes with slow movement and a little patience. You cannot beat his ears. A clanking release, a squeaky stand seat, a loud zipper, an arrow ticking against the riser, gear rattling around loose in a backpack, all of it carries clean through the woods. I once spooked a beautiful buck at first light just by ticking my metal release against my bow while I turned my wrist to check my watch. First light opening morning gone, so silence your gear before the hunt, tape down anything that rattles and pack so nothing clinks. Move slow, move quiet, and treat noise as the single thing most likely to blow your hunt because it is. Number 10. Letting the deer pattern you. This is the big one. This is the mistake that costs you more deer than any other on this list because almost every other mistake I just named is really just a version of this one. We pour all our energy into trying to pattern the deer, and the entire time the deer are quietly patterning us. Same entry trail every time, same stand every single day, same truck door at the same hour every morning. A whitetail doesn't need a long memory to learn your routine, just 3 or 4 weeks, and that is the whole season gone. Every choice you make out there either hides you or teaches them. Your job is to stay unpredictable, to be the predator they never quite figure out. Nail this one and the other 11 start solving themselves. Deer may not remember you from one season to the next, but they will absolutely have you patterned within a few weeks of the same routine. Break the routine and you stay the hunter instead of becoming the hunted. Number 11. Buying gear instead of scouting. New hunters believe success is something you purchase. The newest bow, the priciest scent gadget, the trail camera with every bell and whistle, but gear doesn't kill deer. Being in the right spot kills deer. The best hunters I know spend their money on good boots and spend their time on the ground, learning where the deer bed, where they feed, and exactly how they travel in between. You could hunt with a stick and a string, and if you're in the right tree at the right time, you'll out-hunt the guy with $10,000 of gear sitting 100 yards away in the wrong one. Every time, gear makes the hunt more comfortable. It does not make the deer walk by. Only woodsmanship does that, and woodsmanship is free. Number 12. Hunting where the deer aren't. This is the foundation underneath every other mistake on this list, and it's the one beginners skip completely. They pick a stand because it's an easy walk from the truck, or because the view is pretty, not because deer actually use the spot. Then they sit it for a season and wonder why they never see a thing. Scout before the season ever opens. Read the sign, the trails, the rubs, the beds, the droppings. Let the deer tell you where to sit instead of guessing. A flawless setup in a place with no deer is just a nice spot to watch the sun come up. Put yourself where the deer already want to be and you've won the hunt before you ever climb the tree. So there they all are, 12 beginner mistakes, and here's the best part, every single one of them is completely free to fix. You don't need a bigger budget or better gear. You need to move less, stay quieter, hunt the wind, and let the deer show you where to be. None of that costs a thing, and all of it starts working the very next time you step into the woods. Fix these 12, and you'll shortcut the years of frustration that make most new hunters quit before they ever tag a good one. Now, number 12 leads straight into the single most important skill in all of deer hunting, and it's the very first thing I'd teach any beginner. So go watch my full breakdown on how to scout a new property and find where the big bucks actually bed. That's where your next season really begins. I'll see you in that one.